Let me put you on game. Don't listen to people who lose or you'll do the same. Stop talking to people who don't give a f*** what you saying. Stop spending your money on weed, go hop on a plane. Stop pointing the finger.
Welcome back to another episode of The Pursuit of Wealth. Today we've got our very own Nick Jackuchan with us. I know Nick, I know his story. It's super, super cool. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So let's get into it, Nick.
Awesome.
Kind of take us back to where it all started. Where are you from? And how did you get to where we're at today?
For sure. So I moved here from Bangkok, Thailand when I was 15. So that's about 18 years ago.
Okay.
When I first moved here, I didn't know a word of English, like nothing. So
Did your whole family move here?
my uncle and his family moved here first.
Okay.
He was here for over 20 something years, and we moved here after,
Got
but
it.
only me and my brother. My parents stayed back in Thailand, so
Oh, wow.
it was a little hard.
So you were 15
I was 15.
and brother's older or younger?
He's younger. He's 4 years younger, so he's like 11.
Okay, so you're a 15-year-old with an 11-year-old brother, and your parents just send you to a whole different country.
Yeah, so pretty much we started having a lot more like gangs and like crimes and stuff in Thailand, so they don't want us to stay there.
Wow.
And they're just like, let's go have a better life. So they send us over here.
Got it. And they've been able to see that your uncle was here, and he was, maybe like having a better life than what you guys were having in
Yeah.
Thailand. And so is that why they kind of sent?
Yeah, they want us to have this American dream
Yeah.
that everyone wants to have.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy. So so did you guys just, when you're 15, have you gone back? Or did you guys just stay here for good?
we stay here up until probably 4 years ago, and then we decided to go back.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't want to look back because if I go back, change gonna be hard,
Yeah.
So I just keep looking forward. And then 4 years ago, actually my dad passed away, so we decided to go back and go to his service and stuff.
Got it. So 14 years, basically, you left in 14 years, you had never been back.
Never look back and just
Wow.
yeah.
Did your parents, would they come out and visit, or how
Yeah.
did that kind of work?
Yeah, they come every 6 months. They just come and visit, usually during the summer, and they just stay up until before the winter gets here, and then
Yeah.
they just take off because they don't like the cold.
That's crazy. Dude.
Yeah.
How scary. Like, I can imagine being 15 years old, and, being 15 years old and going somewhere on my own, but then also to have like a younger brother that you kind of feel
Yeah.
probably responsible for
sure.
to take care of and like help succeed and to be in another country. So like, how was that transition?
Really hard the first year. It's just like I said, we didn't know a word of English, and we didn't know anyone beside my uncle and his family.
Yeah.
And every day when we go to school, we just keep to ourselves,
Yeah.
and try our best. Like, I actually walked around with a dictionary in my hand because I didn't I'm like, hey, hold on, what did you say? So I can look up the word. How do you spell that?
Yeah.
So I can actually be able to communicate with people.
Wow.
Yeah, it was hard.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it's hard to communicate when you're in high school anyway,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
you're shy and you're nervous, but imagine like not knowing what people are saying. How long did it take you to kind of get the language down?
I would say honestly 1.5 or 2 years, and then I was able to actually communicate with people like fluently.
Yeah.
So I moved here, and then I just went straight to sophomore.
Okay.
So pretty much my senior year, that's when I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So my last year of high school. So
Yeah. But so tail end, you kind of started to enjoy it. How was the schooling like compared to Thailand, like coming here?
I honestly think that Thailand have better education system.
Yeah.
It's harder there,
Okay.
like especially math and stuff like that. But here, I would say probably just a language barrier. Other than that, I would say it would be easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like, especially here in Idaho, it's like we don't have the best schooling system. So maybe like different parts of the US, but but that's like, I can imagine trying to learn for the first 2 years in high school, new subjects, and not know English or the language. So like, how long would it just take you longer to do your homework? Like, how was that battle?
It take long
How
because
would you translate it? Would you just like,
dictionary, just keep typing everything in. I'm just like, man, that doesn't make sense in my head. So it's hard, but we made it through. Yeah.
That's crazy. So in high school, did you play any sports?
Yeah. So I like to play soccer.
Okay.
So I play some soccer. I didn't get a chance to play for varsity in high school because my uncle, we own a family business.
Okay.
So he want us to work after school and stuff.
Got it.
So what he did is he put me through spring sport. So like extreme, like the clubs that we have here, extreme and ballistics and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I get to play in those more than high school season.
Got it. Because those were like, as far as like the schedule.
Yeah, it just doesn't work out. Yeah.
Got it. So how old were you when you started working in the restaurant?
As soon as I get here.
Really?
Yeah.
So 15 years old?
15, yeah.
What about your brother?
My brother, I mean, don't say anything, but he actually worked too. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He was 11, 12, and he's just helping out in the back, just like putting the dishes away and stuff like that.
And that's like, I mean, it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
I think obviously like people from different cultures, like that's just part of what you do. You're growing up and you start working right away into the family business. Yeah. Luckily for you guys, like I know some that they don't even have the chance to go to school. Like it's like you're, 9 or 10 years old, you're just coming to work, you're done with school. So, I mean, at least you guys were able to still attend school and work on the side. How do you feel like that? Was that beneficial for your future, or what do you think?
Honestly, it taught me a lot of characters, taught me how to get through like tough times and be ready to go out there in the real world, right?
Yeah.
But actually, I never thought I would be here today.
Yeah.
I always thought that my life was going to be involved in food industry, in restaurant, and I think that's how like my family believes and kind of programmed themselves like that's all you can do. Yeah, that this is going to be the best job you can have. Yeah. So
because for them it's probably that's all they knew. Yeah. Right. And you can be successful in that, and probably like seeing that like they like that's the only road we know to success. So what caused you to veer away from that?
Honestly, just working from when I started, like when I'm 15, I was working up until I was 21, just every day at the restaurant 24/7. Yeah. And every day just the same, like go to, like after school and just go to work and then go home. And then after I graduated from high school, it just full time, like in the kitchen, right? I'm just like, is this it? Like, is this all I can do in my life? I just keep thinking that. And then when I try to talk to my family about it, it's like, yeah, that's it. That's nothing else. Like, what else do you want? Like, you have money, you have home, you have cars to drive. Aren't you happy? I'm like, no, I'm not. I feel like my life is just driving from home to work, from work to home. Yep. Never get a chance to go hang out with my friends. And every time I'm just blowing off my friend, just like, I'm sorry, I can't go. Yeah. And I feel like all my friendship in high school just disappeared because it's all about relationship building, and I didn't have that. Yeah. Because I always work. Yeah. So, and I think that's why I decided to like, you know what, I'm gonna stand up for myself and step out and do my own thing. Yeah. They were not happy about it. They were like, you're not gonna make it. You're going to crawl back and ask for your job back. And I was like, I got scared. I was like, man, maybe they're right. So I stuck it out for another couple years. I was like, you know what?
So when you said that the first time, how old were you?
21.
21. So when you're 21, so you'd been graduated for a few years. You'd been working in the restaurant still, in the kitchen, right? You were in the kitchen. Okay. Yeah. And you're finally like, I've had enough. I want more life. 21 years old, you tell them. And then they're like,
and they were just like, you dumb, like, don't do it.
Yeah.
And they're good at it. Like they're good at talking. Like I guess in their perspective,
that's what they believe.
That's what they believe.
It's truly what they believe. And that's where I think a lot, like you talk to anybody that kind of from different countries, Middle Eastern or Asian or anything like that. There is a lot of pressure from family members, like from other cultural things. It's like, you better be a doctor and you better go to school because that's the only way to succeed. Yeah. But there's so many different ways to succeed. But for them, they don't know because, a lot of them came from a different country where they didn't have even the opportunity to go to school and do the things they're doing, or opportunity to open the restaurant like they do here. So they feel like that's the road to succeed. So, and for you trust your family members. So when you come to them and say like, I want to do something different, like don't do it. Like you're gonna fail. That's hard.
Yeah.
So how long did you stick in it?
I would say up until 24,
Okay. So another 3
25,
years.
another 3 to 4 years, I would say.
Okay.
I got married, and my wife and I mean, it's just two of us, so it's okay, right? Making money, saving monies, but that's it. Our life during that early 20s were just me working.
Yeah.
And my wife, to one point, she was just like, "This is not working." Just that word changed everything. Like, she's like, "This is not working. I don't think I can go through with this."
Yeah.
And
Just because you were working too much?
just because I worked too much. And she was like, "How am I going to have a family with you?
Yeah.
And you're always going to be at the restaurant. I don't want to take our kid, like, go spend time at the restaurant while you working.
Yeah.
And that's all they're going to see you do. And when are we going to go have family times and stuff like that?"
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's right. And that just, clicks for me. I'm like, you know what? I have a family now. And I want to do something different. So I decided to, like, you know what? I don't want to ruin the marriage. I want to build this for my family, build stuff that I believe.
Yeah.
So I decided to tell my uncle. And he was not happy.
Yeah. It's got to be hard.
Yeah. And he was like, "If you leave, you can't come back." I'm like, "All right, I'm leaving." Like, I put my foot down and just like, "Yep, I'm
Wow.
leaving." And it was a tough couple years because our relationship it was broken.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk, we didn't do anything. And I didn't look back either. Like, I still respect my uncle
Yeah.
and everyone in my family. Like, we respect, like, our elders
Yeah.
in our cultures, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I was trying to do everything I can to fix it, but I couldn't do anything. They thought that I ruined everything. I ruined the family business.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I step out, and my first job was I was working at Verizon.
Okay. So you're 24?
I was
the
about
time?
24, 25.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Okay.
But
Starting at Verizon just as a front kind of sales guy?
Yeah, I was a sales guy. I was still nervous because I always spend all my time in the back of the kitchen, in the restaurant, and never communicate with people. So I'm like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna sell a phone? Like, I don't even know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
So my ex managers, he was like, "It's okay, man. Everyone got to start somewhere."
Yeah.
So he gave me all the basics and stuff, and I just put my head down, just learning, training, and just keep doing that. So I was working at Verizon for a couple years.
How was your first year? Like,
I think I killed it.
Okay, what'd you end up doing?
Honestly, to me, I made $60,000.
Wow.
And I was like, man, that's good.
First year in sales?
Yeah, so I'm like,
the restaurant?
what have I been missing?
Yeah.
Life was good. Wife's happy.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. So how long were you with Verizon, and where'd you end up there?
I would say I was there for about 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
I worked my way from being a sales consultant to assistant manager, store manager.
Wow.
And then, it's just keep getting better. And I was like, man, I should have done this long time ago.
Yeah.
But things change. Every places that I worked at taught me a lot of things. But Verizon, the reason I left is I just found a better opportunity.
Yeah.
My brother left the restaurant business as well, but he started to get
Did
in.
he stay there a few years after you
Yep,
left?
he did, and he hated me for it. He was like, "You left everything to me."
Yeah.
But he was like, "I want to leave too." So he left a little bit after, like a couple years after.
Okay.
But he jumped into car business.
Got it.
And he was working at Toyota, Volkswagen. He was doing good, and I was selling phones, so we all in sales.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Dude, stop selling small things. Come sell bigger things." So I was like, "What do you mean?" So you can make this much. He just planned it out for me. And I was like, "Dude, that's awesome."
Yeah.
So I told Verizon, I was like, "I'm leaving." So
So you were there for 3 years?
3-4 years, I would
4
say.
years at Verizon. Okay.
Yeah, 3.5, I would say.
Okay. And then you get into car sales.
Car sales, man.
Okay.
Different game.
Yeah.
Changed my life too. So
These have all been stepping stones, though.
Yeah, I think so.
To get you where you're at. you
Yeah.
know? So how was the car industry? What'd you learn there?
I learned that it's a cutthroat business.
Yeah.
But I learned to actually listen.
Yeah.
I learned to listen to people. People come in with problems, and what I learned there is as long as you listen, you can solve their problems.
Yeah.
As long as you solve their problems, they're gonna become your friends, and then they're gonna trust you.
Yeah.
And once they trust you, you can do everything. Like,
Yeah.
you can
They're
tell
gonna-
them whatever, and then they're just like, you know what? Yeah, he's right. I'll buy that car.
Yeah. And it's like in not in a malicious way, but
Yeah,
it's
for
like,
sure. No.
But it's like if so many salespeople forget that people come in and they want to be heard. First off, they're coming in, whether it's they're buying a car, they're buying a phone. Typically, there's a reason why. So it's like, listen, find out that reason, and then you can help best advise them on the best situation for them. It's like, I don't know whether to advise you on this car, because I don't know why you're purchasing. But if they're like, oh, we're expanding the family, well, then this one's probably not going to be big enough. You should do this. And you get to know them more, and they like road trips. Oh, maybe you want something that's got better mileage. Like, it's so important to listen when you're in any sales industry, I think, because that's what's going to help you really, truly help the client the most. And you're right. Like once they can kind of trust you, you can best advise them, and they're actually going to receive that information rather than having their guard up and being like, you're just trying to sell me that. It's like, no, like I've actually listened to what you want and what you need. I truly think that this is the best fit for you. Because in sales, I don't look at it as sales like I need to convince you to do something. I look at it as I need to find the best solution for you, and you'll decide if you want to do it. So it's like if you switch it to I need to listen and find the solution versus I need to convince you to buy this truck. It's like, no, they'll convince themselves if you can find the right solution. So that's like, I think that's a huge thing that you probably learned early on in the car industry.
Yeah, for sure. But I also learned that we have to close a deal that day.
Yeah, car industry is brutal. Yeah. It's not like real estate where it's a process, but
it's hard to build relationship in short amount of time.
100%
to me. And you can listen all you want, trying to build relationship all you want. Relationship doesn't build within 30 seconds.
Yeah,
a minute or two. Like it's take longer than that, right?
For sure.
So it's very cutthroat, man. Like, but I feel like I actually hold a store record.
Wow.
I sold 25 car in 1 month, and
Wow.
nobody has breaking it yet. That's what what my brother told me. Nobody has breaking it, so that's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's super cool. So how long were you in car sales?
I would say about 2.5 years.
Okay.
Um,
First year, what'd you do?
First year I broke 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where did you end up at Verizon? So when you left Verizon, where were you at?
Honestly, I was making more as a sales consultant because I don't have to worry about managing other people.
Yeah.
I just worry about myself.
Yeah.
And when I became a store manager, I would say I maintained almost the same amount as income.
Got it.
Because now it's not just me, it's team members.
Yep.
Got to coach them, got to make sure they hit their quotas and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I would say if I could go back at Verizon, I would probably just stay as a sales consultant.
Yep.
Sometimes climbing up the ladders, not everything.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
So
No, I that's true. Cause I think there's a lot of people that have this misconception that they're like, they don't want to be a player B in something. They want to be a player A. Like I need to go start this company, or I need to do this and this. It's like, well, if sometimes you don't realize that the person running it isn't doing maybe as good as you are as in a B position, or they're dealing with so much more stress and things that they have to deal with, where it's like, if I'm making a little bit less, I'm still making good money. Like I'd rather be in that B position.
Yeah.
Some people don't realize that though.
I wouldn't like, I would say that not everyone made out to be a leader.
Yeah.
Am I good at it? I don't know, probably, but I don't want to worry about other. I think I care too much.
Yeah.
And when I put other feelings and stuff like that into my own, I'm just like, man, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I'll just give you this.
Yes.
So I feel like leadership sometimes has to be a little, like you have to be cutthroat and just don't worry too much. But I'm like, maybe I'm not made to be a leader.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe different kind of leader, But,
yeah.
So
yeah. So going in the car industry, what did you end up? You were there for 3 years.
2.5
years.
2.5.
First year you broke 6, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Second year, is that where you set your record?
Second year, I think I would say I maintain it too. I think I got comfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm the best salesman here, and I would say I stopped learning. I stopped growing as a person because I got cocky. I got too comfortable.
Yeah.
And the environment in car business is just so toxic.
Yeah.
Like everyone doesn't care about other, like they care to make sales, right?
Yeah.
They pretend to listen to clients.
Yeah.
But come down to it, everyone just worry about their paychecks. And it's just like that. Those 2 years, like I wish I could stay longer, but go to work. I'm not excited to go to work. I'm just like, man, it's gonna be another drama day.
Yeah.
What else gonna happen today? What is Bob going to cause a scene like today? Like, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just not fun.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, I want to go to work and enjoy the workplace.
Yeah.
That's probably my main thing at a workplace. And then other than that, once I enjoy working at that place, result gonna come.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking forward to going.
For sure. So what spiked your interest in real estate from the car industry?
Honestly, it was actually my rental properties.
Okay.
We had our first home that we bought back in 2016. My wife and I, fast forward to 2021, we decided to look into the home value, and I'm still at car business, Teton Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And we saw that the value of the home like pretty much double, and I was like, babe, should we sell it? But then I started listening to Robert, the rich dad, poor dad guy.
Robert Kiyosaki, yeah.
He said, make the money work for you.
Yep.
Something like I'm actually starting to read his books now.
Good.
Chapter 2.
Just started.
Just started.
Yeah.
But,
good,
you know, just he was on YouTube. So anyway, he was like, maybe we should start getting into like investment properties and something like that. And then my wife's just so scared. She was like, how can we make that work? Are we going to be able to afford it?
Yeah.
And I like, hey, look at this video. It's pretty much we don't have to worry about like as long as we can find tenants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We good.
Yeah.
And
what I love about what you just said though is like you didn't really know, but you're just like, look at this video. Like this guy did it. Like it just shows how education is so available to anybody that's wanting to learn something. It's like go to YouTube, like search how to buy my first rental property. How do you find a tenant? It's like there's so much information that's easily available to us. Where beforehand, it's like before you couldn't have seen that video, you would have had to read the book, which you might not have read the book, and you might have just sold and you wouldn't have that property.
Yeah.
But it's like the day and age that we're in now, information is so readily available if you want to go learn.
Yeah.
But props to you too for just saying like, he's doing it in the video. Like, I think we can do this.
So we decided to talk to the lender.
Yeah.
And see if we can make something like that work. And he was like, you know what? Yes, you can. You can even refinance and take some cash out because we actually had a 15 years mortgage.
Oh, wow.
And the lender actually educated us like, why would you keep the 15-year mortgage when you're going to turn this into an investment property and just change it to 30 years? People are going to pay your mortgage off anyways.
Yeah.
As long as you have incomes coming in, that property is taken care of.
Yeah.
So we were like, really? Like it still doesn't click, right? Because we never done it.
Yeah.
So we took the leap of faith and let's refinance. And we did refinance for 30 years and then take some cash out. And yeah, we went and we found this home that my wife been in love with since she was little.
Yeah.
So we put in an offer, we got it. I'm like, whoa. We just became an investor. Like we just got investment properties.
Yeah.
We just
essentially you got a new house.
We step up. Like we level up, and like that's how we fell.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's just got me thinking like, whoa, that's more than car business. What are we missing here, right?
Yeah, because you were able to cash out probably a decent chunk of money.
Yeah.
Still had the mortgage. Had you already found a tenant for your house yet?
Yeah.
Or?
So we got in touch with. We didn't want to do it. We don't want to manage the property ourselves.
For sure.
So we did a lot of research about property managers and stuff like that. We didn't go with any of the big companies in town. Yeah. We actually found this guy. His name is Nathan. I think he just started his property management business.
Yeah.
And he only does it by referral.
Got it.
What that tell me is he actually, doesn't take any tenant.
Yeah.
He only take tenant. Like he doesn't take any any
property owners.
any property owner. Sorry,
Yeah.
he actually only do work with referrals, and that say a lot because you either have to trust that person, and the person that referred to Nathan got to have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna talk to this guy.
Yeah.
And dude, we clicked,
That's
and
awesome.
we actually found a tenant within the first week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was your if you don't mind sharing, how was that property with the mortgage and bringing in the tenant? Were you guys cash flowing on it?
I would say we cash flow like almost the same amount as our mortgage.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So a lot of people, like, especially on their first rental property, they're looking at, maybe making a few $100 a month on top of the mortgage.
Yeah.
But you guys are making.
So we like 50-50. So mortgage and then like pretty much double our.
So whatever your mortgage is, you're making that in addition on cash flow, which is unheard of. A lot of big investors. Like, I don't think you understand how big of a home run that property was for you guys. And hopefully, like, it continues to just be really good property. But that's what opened your guys' eyes to, like,
real estate.
Like, okay, wait, we're cash flowing X amount of money on this thing, which, like, is a mortgage payment, and we're not doing anything. Like, this is kind of a cool industry. Yeah. So, and then did you start looking into real estate sales at that point?
Yeah. I talked to a few people, interview with a few of teams in town, brokerages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And until I found you, like, we had our meeting. We went to the coffee shop and then we talked, and I just feel like the cultures that you have here fit what I've been looking for all my career.
Yeah.
The family oriented, you guys younger, hungrier. Yeah. And I don't know, it just fit everything. So
sweet. So how's your first, you've been licensed now for almost 8 months.
Yeah. 8 months.
How's that journey been in real estate? How was the first transition coming right into real estate from car sales?
I would say first couple months, as soon as I jumped in, the market crashed.
Yeah.
And I was like, what did I just do? Like, hey, do you guys do hiring? Like, hey, I would love to go back and sell car. Yeah. No, it was scary. It was a scary change, scary jump.
In the reference, not like crash, but from the last 2 years that we had seen, like what you had probably seen in the real estate market and why you were getting into it, you're like, things are changing.
Yeah.
Houses aren't selling in 2 hours and buyers aren't buying as much because rates started going up.
I would say slow down. Not crash.
It didn't crash, but definitely slowed down.
But it scared me, right? As a new agent, like coming on, I'm like, man, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
But actually, I loved it because I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
What I have to do is I just have to get in, start working, start grinding, start calling people, start reaching out to my fears and all my friends, family.
Yep.
And that's all I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it was 2 years ago. I heard of 2 years ago how it was.
Yeah.
But I never experienced it myself.
It's honestly kind of a privilege, yeah. Because there is an agent, maybe that got licensed a year before you, and they had a year. Their first year in real estate was this crazy, time that was unheard of. And now they're coming into this and they're like, what's going on? Like, this isn't the real estate I know. It's like, well, that wasn't normal. Yeah. You kind of came in at just the right time where you weren't spoiled. And you're going to learn a lot of the right principles that are going to have to be carried on throughout the next few years to make you successful, so I think it was perfect timing, even though you think maybe it was.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too, honestly, just to look back, but it was scary. But again, you got to take risks to get the reward, right? 100%. So my first 7 months, I did 15 deals. I closed 15 deals.
It's crazy.
Could have been more. A few of them got canceled. So could have hit 20.
Yeah.
But
which is awesome. The fact that the market was slowing down, being a new agent, like, props to you, because there's a lot of agents that don't hit that in their first year. Don't even hit that in their second year, in real estate. The average agent, I think, only sells 6 or 7 houses a year. So to come in first year, not really knowing anything about real estate, and to do 15 transactions, that's huge. So you need to pat yourself on the back for that.
Thank you. It was good. I learned a lot in the first 7 months. I learned to listen more.
Yep.
I learned to adapt, because all the sales job that I've been with, you want to close that day.
Yep.
And it's hard, man. Like, because I'm so used to that. I built for that.
Yeah.
So I got to keep telling myself, Nick, it's okay. Like, they're going to go home, think about it. Maybe you didn't show them the right house.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't listen to them good enough.
Yeah.
What is the real, like, what is their like problem? What is the actual problem that they have?
Yeah.
Have you got into that yet?
Yep.
So like, it's actually making me grow as a person, as in my career as well, not just a person, but yeah, like now I actually listen to my wife better.
Yeah.
You know, like personal life, everything's just, dude, everything's just better with real estate.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's good, dude. Because there's a lot of things that do carry over. It's like the important skills of being able to listen to find out why somebody's actually, why they're not purchasing the home, or why they, why are they actually looking to purchase a new home. It carries over into your relationship. Like, your wife's mad at you. Like, well, let's dig into why. What is the real reason?
What did I do?
Yeah. What is the real reason? Like, ask questions and listen. A lot of like people don't understand. Like, as humans, we just want to be heard. Like, we just want somebody to listen to what we need or what we want. It's like, if you can do that, like whether you're in sales, your relationship, whatever, it's like, if you can just learn to listen better, your life will change.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That was a principle that you've already learned.
Yeah.
What do you think you can attribute your success as a new agent? Like, what was the main thing you think that caused you to be successful getting into the business?
Honestly, like I told you before, I care about others.
Yeah.
I feel like that played the biggest role for me in real estate, because I care and I want my clients to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And as long as you take a good care of your clients, they're gonna see that, they're gonna feel that.
Yep.
And going along with that relationship building, like I wouldn't say I know a lot of people in town, but I do know some.
You know a lot of people in town. Everybody's like, oh yeah, oh Nick, yeah, I know, oh Nick, yeah, we know Nick.
Right. But what I learned though, I used to get mad at my friends for listing with someone else.
Yeah.
I look back and I was like, Nick, when was the last time you reached out to them?
Yep.
When was the last time you actually have a conversation and keep that relationship? Like, yeah, you know of that, you call that person friends, but do they call you friends? Yep. Do you build that strong relationship already? You're just someone that they know.
Yeah, 100%.
So now my goal this year is all my friends on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I'm gonna make an effort to like, hey, how's it going?
To actually become friends.
Like, comment on their posts and actually connecting, like trying to reconnecting our friendships or build that relationship further. So that's my goal, to do that. And I think
that's huge. If you're a real estate agent, like what he just said is so important. I know, I mean, every real estate agent gets upset when they see somebody else that lists, but my question is, and I question the fact that you can question yourself first shows, how much you've grown as with your own character. It's like, a lot of people just blame, like, they didn't list with me. Why? It's like, take extreme ownership. They didn't list with you because what did you not do? Yeah. So it's like, when's the last time I reached out to them? Well, I had, props to that agent, because they obviously were in contact more with that client, and they built a better relationship. Yeah.
So it taught me to, I guess, be better at, reaching out or do better in my business, because everyone's gonna want all this stuff like lined up for them, but what have you done? What work have you done
to deserve that?
Yeah. So, I would say I'm really getting into social media contents and stuff like that. Yeah. And crushing it. I'm loving it. Don't get me wrong, I love getting attention, but I just love being myself on camera. Yeah. This guy, Scarface, Edgar Cortez. Yeah. Follow him.
I've heard of him. Just kidding.
Just kidding. He gave me some good advice. He was like, dude, just be yourself. Just, whoever you are right now, translate that to the people that are watching you on social media. And to me, I thought of myself as funny guy. Yeah. But at the same time, I want people to like me, right? Like that's the whole purpose of making the content.
Well, I think people are gonna like you for who you are. Yeah. So it's like the most important thing, like Edgar says, is like show who you actually are, because you're not gonna appeal to everybody, and that's okay. It's like you don't want to just try to catch everybody. You want to catch the people that are going to most relate with you, because
Yeah.
those are the people that you're actually going to enjoy working with. So it's like, if you are yourself and just know that, like, I'm not going to, maybe I don't appeal to the 90-year-old grandma
Yeah.
over there because that's not who I am. We can't really connect.
Yeah.
That's okay, because there's a lot of other people that we can connect with and we're going to connect better with because we're being ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think so many people get caught up in the fact of, like, they want to please everybody. And they
Yeah.
want to make sure they're really safe. Like, I shouldn't wear my hat backwards, and we shouldn't wear Nikes or, Chucks or something. We got to wear, dressier clothes. It's like, I've ever since I started my real estate journey, it's like when I first started, I wore the dressy clothes, and I quickly realized, like, I'm not being myself. I'm not being authentic. People are going to hire me because of who I am, not because of what I'm wearing. They're going to hire me because of the knowledge I have about real estate and how I can sell their home or how I can find the home that they want to purchase, not because I have my hat forward or backwards. Like, I'm just going to be myself. And if they don't want to work with me, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of other people I think that will want to work with me because I'm being authentic.
Yeah.
So
I like what you just said, because if you look back, real estate agent, realtor, in my book back in the day, I'm like, they have to dress professionally, like suit and tie, you
Yep.
know, dress shoe, dress pants, and that's not who I am either. So,
Yeah.
and when I come along to this team, I'm like, dude, you let me be who I am. You believe in who I am, and you push me, right? So it's just win and win for everyone.
yeah, no, I think it's, I'm excited to see what you do this year, because just in the last 8 months, what you've been able to do, it's like, there's no reason we don't double that or more this next year that you're coming up. And I think what you're doing with content, obviously, like, people are seeing that, and that's super huge. You've gotten a lot of compliments on that. So I'm excited to see what you do this year.
Thank you.
What's been the, like, whether it's with real estate or your life, what are, like, 3 things, tips, advice that you could give the audience that you've learned?
Most important thing that I learned, if you want to do something, don't be afraid to jump. Because if I was afraid to jump, I wouldn't be where I am today.
100%.
I had a dream and I want to follow it, and here I am. And sometimes dream change, goal change, plan change. You just had to work around that plan, but just do it. So
100%.
that's
That's a good one.
That's the most important one that I learned. Secondly,
And you learned that one. I just want to point out, like, you learned that one from a very young age.
yeah,
It's like you jumped into something to chase
Yeah.
a dream, and, like, to see your progress. I think your story is incredible. Like,
thank you.
Hopefully people can grab, some bits and pieces out of this, because it's like what you've gone through and now where you're at. Like, a lot of people wouldn't leave the family restaurant. They wouldn't leave a country to go to a different country. Like, you're really trying to, hit the highest mark you can and do what's best for your family. And
Yeah.
you've taken a lot of risk, which I think is cool. And it's paid off.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
I'm still learning every day, but I think I'm on the right track. So
Yeah. Okay. 2 other pieces.
the other one, I would say, I heard this from one of the colleagues in the brokerage. I believe it's either Tim Macy or Brad McCollum. They're saying that do not compare your first chapter to someone else. Chapter 10. You got to start somewhere. But when you do it, just don't compare. You're going to get to that chapter eventually.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Just focus on making your story better
Yep.
as you go.
Yep.
It's like, we can't compare it. Don't compare yourself to somebody that's been in the industry for 25 years.
Exactly.
Because they're on chapter 25. You're on chapter 1.
Yeah.
But what can you do today to make your chapter 25 look better when you get there?
You should be proud of yourself for starting that chapter
100%.
and just keep going.
I love that.
And then last but not least, discipline. Being in this business, it takes a lot of discipline and consistency.
Yep.
If you don't have that, you just got to make one because you're going to get caught off with other people, like, want to hang out with you, reach out to you like, hey, let's go to lunch. It's nice to get free lunch every now and then. Don't get me
Every
wrong.
now and then, yep.
Right. But sometimes you get caught off guard and just you forget why you doing this in the first place.
100%.
Just have your priorities lined up and just be consistent and be disciplined with yourself.
I love it. That's, a lot of agents get caught up, especially newer agents, in the social aspect of real estate. It's really, you got title companies and lenders and all these people that want to take you to lunch and build a relationship with you. when you figure out that like those what they're doing is they're trying to build a relationship with you because you're sending them business.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you need to be doing what they're doing with your clients, because it's like your clients are going to give you business. Yep. So you should be focusing on where your business is coming from. So many agents miss that. They're chasing the cheese and forgetting that they need to be the one, you know, bringing people in. And so the fact that you've already realized that is super important.
I have one more actually.
Yeah, go for it.
So don't listen to people, but you gotta know who actually looking out for you.
Yeah.
I'm doing this content, a lot of negative feedback, like, why are you doing that? You're just wasting your time. You should go prospecting neighborhood. I mean, that's part of real estate, right? You should go do all this stuff, do all this, do the old school. Like it will work. It proven that it's worked, but this is what I like to do.
Yeah.
I want to reach out to people through social media. It's a new way. Like, let me be, please. Like, let me do this, and you're gonna see that it's gonna change the industry.
Yeah, 100%. No, and I'm a big believer in that, and I'm a big believer in obviously pushing you to do activities that you enjoy, because that's what you're going to be able to stay more consistent with. Yeah. It's like nothing's going to work if you're not consistent. Circle prospecting isn't going to work if you're not consistent. Calling expireds, calling for sell by owners, doing open houses, none of that will work unless you're consistent. Yeah. Content will not work unless you're consistent, but you've already shown that that's something that you're willing to be consistent at. And so it's like, if you're willing to be consistent at that, double down on that. It's like Kobe Bryant wasn't worried about, how he threw a football. He just focused on shooting the basketball. He focused on one thing and became so good at
what he loved.
Yep. That he made a lot of money on it. So it's like, if you can focus, you can make a lot of money doing anything if you just put the time and the effort into it. So
yes, sir.
You're going to crush it, Nick. I'm
Thank you.
Super excited. Hopefully you guys found something that you can pull from this. I think Nick's story is super amazing. So feel free to reach out to Nick. What's your Instagram handle?
It's just my first and last name, Nick Jackuchan. Jackuchan, like Jackuchan, like Jackie Chan with the U.
Yeah, not Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. Yep. It's real last name, I promise. So
cool. Well, that's a wrap. Appreciate it, Nick.
Thank you.
Don't listen to people who lose, or you'll do the same. Stop talking to people who don't give a what you saying. Stop spending your money on weed, go hop on a plane. Stop pointing the finger and start taking some of the blame. Let me put you on game. Control your emotions, most of the time it's really not worth it. Don't be ashamed and beat yourself up for not being perfect.